On today's episode of Profile Podcast, I will be interviewing Professor Laura Koretz. Laura Koretz is a professor at Arizona State University W.P. Carey School of Business, where she has been teaching business law and ethics since 2004. She earned her law degree from Suffolk University Law School and later completed her MBA at ASU while practicing law in Arizona. She also developed courses in compliance and risk management and teaches between 1,000 to 2,000 students each year. Professor Koretz received the Husing Award for undergraduate services to students in 2015 and enjoys traveling, photography, and hiking.
This week's episode is sponsored by Bubble Pin. Here's a message from them. Bubble Pin is a student-run brand making custom pins inspired by the chaos, memes, and inside jokes of college life. If you've ever wanted something that actually feels you on your backpack or jacket, this is it. Bubble Pin turns everyday campus moments into wearable humor. Made to wear, made to share. Go follow at Bubble Pin on Instagram to see what's dropping next and help shape future designs.
Thank you so much for joining us for an interview today. Whenever you're ready, we can get started.
Fantastic.
Perfect. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became a professor at ASU.
It was a long road, and it wasn't necessarily intentional. When I was younger, I thought about practicing law or practicing medicine, and I wasn't sure which way I wanted to go. And as I went through my college career, I started to veer. Well, I got an undergrad, started in psychology, moved to marketing, but then I knew I wanted to go to law school and practice law someday. So eventually, I took the LSAT, did all of that, applied to school, and I went to school in Boston. And my goal was to spend the rest of my life practicing law in Boston. And I'm not in Boston, and I am no longer practicing law. So, but I got my MBA after about 10 years, maybe it was year 11. I started my MBA here at WP Carey, and I met my instructors, and I was told by career services that they knew that I wanted to make a change in my career. And they said, well, why don't you talk to your professors? Because you mentioned that you like to instruct your clients about how to do things better. So I did that. I talked to my professors, and I mentioned that I might be interested in teaching, and then a couple years later, a job opened up. So that really worked out well for me. And to give advice, I know I'm already giving advice, but I would suggest that you talk to your teachers, because we are here to help you. We'll help you with jobs. If you find a teacher that's not receptive, then find someone else. We're not here to hurt you. We're here to help you. So that really helped me out by information interviewing and talking to my professors. That made all the difference. And I hope that reaches some of you out there that are listening, because they can help you too.
And that's so great, because I feel like while you're young and all these mentors are all around you, you can use that as a resource while you can. Mm-hmm. So when was it that you became a professor?
Oh, so I was practicing law for about 10 years. I had practiced law in Boston, then moved out here, and then I was looking for a career change, so I got my MBA, and that's when they contacted me about LES 305 and that they needed someone to teach, and it worked out really well. It's been 21 years, and I really enjoy it.
Besides LES 305, do you teach any other courses?
I do. I've taught several over the past. I've taught leadership courses and ethics courses. Currently, I also teach consumer law, which is LES 380. And that's more, LES 305 is mostly just about business, but consumer law is more about, includes topics like marriage and divorce and writing a will and those kinds of things that you might run into as a consumer. And I also have taught a corporate compliance course, which I'm hoping to revive in the near future, because that's a great way for business law majors to get full-time jobs. There are a lot of job opportunities in corporate compliance, so I'm looking forward to teaching that one again. And I've taught WPC 480, which is a strategy course for the management department, which I think is an important course to take, because you learn so much more about why you studied everything that you've been learning in the last 4 years. It puts it all together for you.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. What inspired you to go into law school?
It just was an interest to me. I like to read, and I was always fascinated by everything, and I was intrigued about the world around me and how things worked, and I didn't understand. And I knew I wanted to take a deeper dive, especially in the legal area.
Mm-hmm. And what law practice did you go into afterwards?
Sure. Well, I started in general practice, which means that anyone that walked through the door, that was my problem. So I had to figure it out day to day. Everything was something new, and that was really exciting. We did a lot of pro bono work, which was fun, but we did a lot of pro bono work, so we were working for free, and that impacted my paycheck considerably. Sometimes I couldn't cash my paycheck, so I started moving more toward business when I moved to Arizona because I just needed to pay off student loans and those fun things.
Outside of academia, like what hobbies or interests you're into? I
have a lot. I like photography. I do a lot of hiking and outdoors activities. I have a dog. I foster dogs, so I'm usually pretty busy. But I like to be active. I like to travel. I'm teaching in Florence. I taught in Florence last semester, and I'm going back this semester to chaperone.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm looking forward to that again, yeah.
During the summer or like?
During the summer, yeah.
That's a fun opportunity.
It is, I know. I'm very excited.
I studied abroad in Florence last semester.
Oh, it's so great.
That's nice.
I love Florence.
Mm-hmm.
It's so beautiful. What do you teach? What will you teach in Florence?
Believe it or not, it's LES 305.
Okay.
But we look at it from the perspective of Italian law versus U.S. law. So we have an attorney that comes in and explains to us about how the Italian system differs from the U.S. system. And then we visit a lot of different businesses, and I can see certainly a big difference. I know the students can too. And for a lot of them, they've never traveled before. This is their first time abroad, and it makes such a big impact on their lives. It really does. They can see that the world is a much more comfortable place to be. They feel much more comfortable traveling in the future.
It sounds like a very interactive course as well. You're kind of going in from inside the classroom to outside as well. So
we have activities every day, making pasta, visiting Siena, doing some of those fun things. We save the academic studies for online before and after the course. So.
Yeah, amazing. So now we're going to go into some course and education-based questions.
Sure.
So regarding the classes you teach, what is your teaching philosophy, and how would you describe your teaching style?
Sure. Well, I like to try to make it a conversation, although that's a little challenging when I have 300 students in the classroom. But I like to try to have you all think instead of me teaching you what to think. I like for students to be prepared so that when they get to class, they can apply what they learned. And I feel like I'm there to facilitate that and try to keep them interested and challenged at the same time.
Mm-hmm. I think as a prior student of your class, I really enjoyed real world like law examples that you've given, and that was like, it made class like very interesting and like very, you like think about it after when you walk out the door, and that's something that's like a highlight.
That's nice to hear. Thank you.
So what assignments can students expect to receive in your course?
Well, they do have a lot of reading assignments to do. The vocabulary is important in our discipline, so the students will be learning the vocab. We have flashcards and some other videos to watch so that the students can understand a little bit more about what we're going to be going over in class so that they're prepared. I do use the iClickers so students can do their best to see how they're doing on the application of some of these concepts.
Yeah, thank you. How can students get the most of your class, and what knowledge and skills do you want students to walk away from your class with?
Sure. So, students get out of it what they put into it. So I feel like the more that they put into the course, the more that they'll get out of it. There are some students that don't spend a lot of time or energy on the course, and I feel like they don't get out as much. But the students that do apply themselves, I feel like they have a better sense of how the world works, because law touches business, obviously, because it's a business law course, but it touches all areas of our lives. And I think it's important for students to be able to understand. So I think that they see the world a little bit differently after they take the course, and hopefully they have some more problem identification skills, like with ethical decision making especially, and that they'll think more deeply about how they make their decisions.
Mm-hmm. I think, for me as a business law major myself, like what I get out of taking law courses is, like you said, like what you learn not just about law, it's kind of like, problem solving, other skills that you learn through like an LES class.
Yeah, I'm hoping that students, their judgment gets better. So it's not just that they have more knowledge, but that they see things more clearly and they start to learn about mistakes that other companies and other people have made in the past so they can avoid those mistakes.
That's very important for anybody going into business, so that's a good skill to learn from LES class. Perfect. Sorry, 1 second.
No, you're
I lost
okay.
my place. Oh. How can students better use their professors as a resource when they're exploring careers or different fields of study?
I would say just ask. Sometimes at the beginning of class, professors are trying to get everything set up, and that's not the best time to ask questions, but stay after class. I'm always happy to talk to my students, and I know a lot of my colleagues feel the same way. We really look forward to getting to know you. We get feedback from you as well, so it's not just something one way. I feel like we have a lot to offer. We can lead them in different directions, introduce them to different people, help them to know about different opportunities and different classes. The university is so big that it's difficult to communicate with everyone at the same time. And if you can find certain people like professors that maybe know more about what's going on, I think they can help to lead you in perhaps a direction that you might be interested in. So let them know what your interests are, and if they can help you, that's great. And if they can't, then find someone else.
I think that's great too, because I feel like a lot of students go into college kind of not knowing what they want to do, and you have no idea if your professor is in a field that you never would have known could be something you would like be super interested in getting into. So like just talking to your professors after class is like a great way to kind of start, figuring out post-grad.
Sure. And I've been in the Valley for I don't want to say how many years now, a lot of years now, but I've gotten to know a lot of people in different areas of business. So, and your instructors have too. So we know people not just in our own disciplines, but other disciplines that we can refer students to.
Yeah, I think it's so amazing to be able to use, have professors be a resource outside of just the classes that they're teaching. And I think that is super important for a student going into college, to know. Then what advice would you give a student pursuing law school and wanting to be a lawyer?
The best advice I can give you is to information interview. So, and that means, if you don't know, that means you're not asking somebody for an interview for a job. You're asking them what makes them successful. What do they like about their job? What do they dislike about their job? So you can find if it's a good fit for you, because in the legal field, as you can imagine, there's a lot of reading, and some students don't like doing that. So maybe they should think about something else, or just realize that they're going to have to do a lot of reading, and that's just tough, right? They're just going to have to get used to it. But I think that's really important to talk to as many lawyers that you know, or you can get in touch with through career services or through some clubs and so forth, and just ask them, what do you like about your job? What do you dislike? And I think you'll get some good answers. And join clubs. There are a lot of clubs set up, like we have the ULA, the Undergraduate Law Association, and a number of other clubs for business law majors, but every discipline has a club, and we usually will call in professionals in that area, so it's a great way to expand your network and get to know about the field.
That's great. I honestly didn't know about all the clubs, so I think that's really good as a resource for students pursuing law to figure out which field they might want to go to before they go into law school, and or if they even want to do it in the end.
Right, and also how to get through the process, because a lot of the students have already taken the LSAT and they've already completed their applications, and they can spread that knowledge to everyone else in the group.
Exactly. Well, for our next question will be our wrap-up question. So, what is the most rewarding part of being a W.P. Carey professor?
There are lots of, just doing something like this is rewarding, because it's really fun to get to know students outside of the classroom instead of in the classroom, and just find out a little bit about their lives. I love seeing them when they've had children. Some of my former students have had children that are now in my classroom, so it's really kind of neat to see that multi-generational impact. and seeing them outside in the world where they're having their own children and they're practicing law or not, they're just living life. It's just nice to see them, and I hear from them and have them say hello and they remember me, and I think that's really nice.
That's really good. Also for the students to like remember and like come back to you as well is like has to be like very like rewarding.
It is. It's very fun.
Next, we're gonna go into some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a little like this or that. So
okay.
Coffee or tea?
Oh, I'm gonna say tea.
Tea. Okay. Window seat or aisle seat?
I like the aisle because I'm a little tall, so I don't like feeling sort of balled up in the window seat. I like to be in the aisle. Then I can jump up if I need to.
Exactly. You don't have to tap on everyone's shoulder.
Yes.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird because I have dogs and it's getting hot now. Yeah. So I like to try to get out before, right when the sun is starting to come out. It's not even sunrise yet, but before the sun starts to come out, and then get the dog outside and hosed off, and then we can start our walk and try to get back in the house and hide for the rest of the day.
That's early then. Early mornings. Well, I think we know the next one. Cats or dogs?
I've had both, but I have, I guess, I really love dogs. Because I have a dog right now. I've kind of forgotten what cat life is like anymore, but I do like them both, but I lean toward dogs.
Dogs are just so sweet.
They are.
But I love cats too. Sometimes I can't pick.
It is tough.
Coke or Pepsi?
Lifelong Pepsi. Diet Pepsi, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hot dog or hamburger?
Gosh. I would have to say probably a hamburger. Mm-hmm. When I was a vegetarian, I really didn't eat those. But as I've gotten older, my system's changed, and so I do eat meat now, which is weird to say. But
ice cream in a cup or in a cone?
Cone.
Cone. Me too. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate. Yes.
Correct answer. And lastly, brunch or dinner?
I like brunch. Yeah, I like brunch.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this interview today.
Great to see you.
It was so amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you.